What is up, watch friends? This is Tony. Welcome to Talking Timepieces with Tony. Today we are doing the Q&A as we always do, the Magic Watch Ball. And if you would like to have a question featured on the Magic Watch Ball or a question for me, then just leave a comment with your question and it'll be featured on one of my upcoming videos. And the Watch Ball Q&A, generally some people leave questions for the Watch Ball and some for me, and then when it's for the Watch Ball I give my 2 cents worth. Watch Ball is accurate 60%, accurate 60% of the time, most of the time. I fucked that one up. Anyway, she can be rude, mean, obnoxious, smart ass, and then sometimes very sweet. So if you want to leave a comment, you've got questions, just go ahead and ask. And it's just a fun, light-hearted way to talk about watches. And at the same time, today was a great day. I have a video coming out tomorrow, which is going to be sick. I don't think anyone's ever done a video like this. I actually sat down with my AD Juan from Bindi Jewelers and did a Q&A, asked him questions that a lot of people want to know, not just what I say and what comes out of my mouth, but hear it from the actual AD's mouth. Also with one of my viewers that started his sort of watch journey with Bindi and how he obtained his watches without having to go into the whole big spend history, because everyone a lot of times thinks that, you know, think I'm like blessed and I just get everything I want when I want and whatever. So let's get into the Q&A, and I'm really stoked about that video tomorrow. But let's get into today's video and roll the intro and let's go. Alrighty. And for everyone who's commented about my back and everything, I really do appreciate it. It means a lot to me, it really does. I am going in on Monday to get a epidural procedure, which is a direct injection into your spine. Hopefully that will help like it did before, and then surgery. Anyway, enough about that. Let's talk about some questions here. This one comes from Niner, and he says, "Hey Tony, thought about a question I'd like to get your opinion on. I recently bought a new old stock Breitling Transocean chrono. Not sure of the production date. Should I send it in for service? Could the oils have dried up and therefore result in damage if I run the watch when winding? It does sound a little louder than what I would call normal. Not sure if that has to do with it just being new and not having been run in who knows how long." All right, that's a fairly good question. You already wound it, so I mean, is it running? You know, I don't really see that too much of a problem. I think it probably just needs to be run, you know, but just check it, see if it's, you know, if it's keeping time. You know, it might just have to be, you know, used. It's like with a car. If it sits, you know, you start it up, get it running. It might be rough as hell. Just drive it slowly, break it in. Like when you get a new car, you have to break it in. Don't go over so many RPMs, whatever. If you find any indication of it not running properly or whatever, then yes, I would take it in for a service, you know, because whether or not the oils have dried up, I don't know. I don't think that would happen. It could. If there's any watchmakers that know more than I do, by all means, please let me know, or let Niner know. Congratulations on your watch, dude, and I hope it runs and works out for you. All right. Next one is from Star Wars 911. What do you think about buying a used Rolex from Japan? I wouldn't. I mean, it's not. I mean, if you're in Japan and you buy a used Rolex and you're comfortable with the rep and the store and the authenticity of the watch, then by all means. Would I buy one like from Chrono 24 from Japan? No. No, hell no. Plus, you know, you've got to pay import tax, things like that, you know, and you get a watch, you know, it might not be what you're expecting. I would stay away from it, but it's up to you. It's your money, dude. Appreciate the question. Marty B618 just sent me this question today. I think, or was it yesterday? But just try, if you can, try to get questions in a little earlier than just the last day, because it's I print them out and whatever. It's just easier to get them all together so I know what I've got when I do my video. But Marty B618, if you could trade your Zenith straight up for a big date chrono, would I? If money was no object, the chronograph, big date, fly back, whatever. No, it's not. It's got nothing to do with money. I mean, I don't think they had it when I bought my Zenith. It was just literally 2 weeks after Watches and Wonders, but that's the watch that I wanted. It wasn't the chronograph version of that. The chrono version of the Zenith that I want is the Chronometer Sport, or I'll take the Revival, is a nice one too. Sorry. But no, and I appreciate you being a viewer and a fan of my channel. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. Talkbox Rodeo. Talkbox Rodeo. This is, I know you. Killer watch. Oh, what am I wearing? I never even said what I'm wearing. I am wearing my Black Bay 54, Tudor Black Bay 54 today. Or I was wearing my GMT all day, so I just decided to put the 54 on. Killer watch, and that's so awesome of you doing that for your friend. Okay, so that was the Sprite. Yeah, man. If I can help, whatever, someone, I'm always down for it. You know what I mean? I say always down for it. But yeah, sometimes you got to do those things. It's doing the right thing and helping someone out. Anyway, they got a Rolex that they absolutely love. I am too on the list for a new Daytona. A new Daytona reference, but also want the 124060, and I'm ready to pull the trigger on it, but I'm afraid to buy the 124060 and then get a call for the Daytona, as I know they're supposed to be coming in September this year. What do I think? Couple things. 124060 is a no date sub, and that's a badass watch. And did they say they were going to get it for you in September? Because that's only next month, dude. I'd wait. If you prefer the Daytona, of course, you know what I mean? But if they didn't say anything, just because they may be coming in September, does that mean you're going to get allocated one? Not necessarily, but yeah, dude. On that, that's a hard one, because it's kind of like I want a sub now. You know what I mean? I want a Daytona. Do I want to wait? You know what I mean? So it's up to you, man. I think if you think you're going to get it in September next month, then I would wait. You know what I mean? And again, it depends on which watch you want more. Obviously, the Daytona is way harder to get than the sub, right? You can always get a sub down the road after you got your Daytona. That's what I would do. I'd wait. If you don't get it in September, then wait till October. And then, if you don't get it in October, then what I would do is I would wait till November. All right, man. I appreciate it, dude. Always appreciate you, man. Our Rolex, okay, this is from, come on, man, 7423. Are the Rolex OPs that hard to find? I absolutely love them. And just out of interest, are all of the models hard to get, or just the hype colored models? They're all hard to get, dude. But it depends on the AD also. I mean, the easier ones to get, if you're talking about, also, you didn't mention if it's a 41 or a 36. Like the turquoise 41s, obviously discontinued. 36 is not. The easiest ones to get, I believe, right now are like the ones like I have, the blue dial and I think the silver dial. But the silver dial seems to have eluded me. The blue dial I got, of course, the red dial is difficult, the yellow mustardy dial is difficult, and so is the green. So it's just all of them. What happened was that once this whole Rolex hype thing really took off, and that the Tiffany OP went through the roof, now everyone the OPs used to be the sort of the affordable, easy to get watch, and it's still affordable if you can get it at your AD, but not so easy to get. So they're all pretty tough. Thanks for your question, bro. Bro? I'm not your bro. But thanks, dude. I appreciate it. This comes from Toasted Bagel 99. Love the videos. Super interesting to hear about your watch news and stuff. Got a few questions for the watch ball. When will Rolex change their OP dials to something other than the double indices at 3, 6, and 9? When will there be more OP dial colors? Seems more colors would be better for their cheapest model. And last question, does Rolex purchase history expire after a certain time frame? Like if you buy an OP 1 year, a date just a couple years later, would you still be just as eligible for the higher tier models, or would you have to buy everything within some month's time? Appreciate the videos. All right, 3 questions, man, for the watch ball. When will Rolex change their OP dials to something other than the double indices at 3, 6, and 9? I have no idea, but I have a feeling it's not going to be anytime soon. But with Rolex, you never know. And unfortunately, my telekinetic abilities aren't penetrating through the very thick walls at Rolex. All right, man. Will there be more OP dial colors? Don't they have the celebration? It has all the colors in one. Last question, does Rolex purchase history expire after a certain time frame? Like if you buy an OP 1 year, date just a couple years later, would you still be just as eligible for the higher tier models? You should be just fine. You don't have to buy all the watches within a certain period of time. As long as the management and staff are the same and they see that you have a purchase history, whether it's a year ago or maybe 2 years ago, then you should be fine. If it was any further back, like 5, 6, 7 years, then it might hold you back a little bit, but you should be fine. That's actually also a question I asked Juan for tomorrow's video. So, and thank you, Toasted Bagels 99. I appreciate your comment, and so does the watch ball. And this comes from Chris Bradshaw 7708. Tony, could you see yourself consolidating your collection? If so, what would you keep and what would you part with? Yeah, I have. Not a whole lot, you know what I mean? Got rid of a couple of Cartiers, and I love Cartier, man. Omega, Breitling, you know, Rolex is what I'll keep. A Cartier, maybe 2 Cartiers. So, you know, whatever else, I'd have to look at my watch box, but I'm pretty happy with my collection as it is, but I do want another couple of watches that I'm looking for, so thank you, dude. Okay, so this comes from my little sister, Metagirl. A question is, assuming no wait lists, materials are the same, similar heritage, why are some luxury brands considered more luxury than others? I'm going to pick on Girard-Perregaux because I think it's overpriced and because I get the impression people buy it for the name, perceived symbol, and status. An example, assuming no wait list for the Daytona. Rolex Daytona reference 126500, White Panda MSRP 15,100 versus the Girard-Perregaux chronograph reference 81020, MSRP 18,600. Both are 904 steel, so the steel materials are the same. The Daytona's power reserve is around 72 hours, while the GP's power reserve is around 46 hours. So I had an initial example with the Rolex Datejust with a pattern dial compared to the Laureata Girard-Perregaux. It seems like the Datejust is superior in every way, meaning the Daytona would be superior to the Girard-Perregaux. Why do you have to do this? I'm sorry. You have to start picking on each other when there's a video going. I don't understand this. Paco. Anyway, sorry. ADD. Well, a lot of it has to do with, okay, for one, Rolex is mass produced and primarily machine made, you know, so there's very little hand involvement on that watch on a Rolex. There is hand involvement on it, but not to the extent of something like Girard-Perregaux. And Girard-Perregaux only make, I think, about 15,000 watches a year. Rolex make over 1 million watches a year. Whether the polishing, now I know Girard-Perregaux has CNC machines for mass production, but they don't mass produce watches. They, you know, if you're making 15,000 watches a year, I'm guessing that. I know it used to be around 10, but so you are going with the name, a lot of it. You may have had one watchmaker make that watch, or the polishing might have been all done by hand as opposed to the machining process. So they're also, because of the smaller amount that they make, they have to charge more in order to make money. With Gerard Perregaux, I mean, that's a good example, because I don't believe that they are what they are. You know what I mean? The Laureato is pretty cool, but they do make some complicated watches too. You know what I mean? So you have to look into the what all their pieces are, what their library of watches are. You know what I mean? So I wish I could answer that better. I think maybe a couple other watch brands might be different in the sense of what it is. Like, is the value there for the watch, as opposed to, because something's more mass produced, does it mean that it's a better or better finished watch? I'm screwing this answer up. I will quit while I'm ahead. But I thank you for your comment, your question. Sorry. See, man. Ned Flanders. Sup, Tony? I love it when you cut right through the bullshit and say it how it is. Reminds me of myself. Some have thought I am too blunt, but I say beating around the bush and making small talk is just wasting your time and mine. Anyway, question for the watch ball. How accurate are you? I'm accurate 60%, 79% of the time. I'm 79% accurate 60% of the time. Okay. And for you, if you were, now this is for me, if I were a watch, what make and model would you be, and why? LOL, can't wait to hear answers on that one. Stay cool, brother. That's a weird one, man. If I was a watch, I don't know. I mean, probably I would be like a Casio G-Shock, completely 100% accurate all the time, extremely robust, shockproof, almost indestructible, and reliable. That's probably what it is. I thank you for your question, Ned Flanders. Always appreciate it. Gregory Enright, 4544. Glad to hear you're feeling better. Thank you. One quick question for you on the availability of watches this year. I received 4 heavy hitters last year from my fantastic AD, but this year I've received no phone calls for a watch. So my question to you, in your opinion, has it slowed down on people receiving watches, or is it about the same from last year? Thanks, and have a great weekend. No, I don't think it's slowed down at all. In fact, I think it's kind of gotten better this year. Maybe you got 4 heavy hitters and they go, all right, you got 4 heavy hitters, let's give some to other people. You know what I mean? I wouldn't look too deep into it, man. But if you are looking for a specific model, just say, hey, man, just go and say hi and ask him, whatever it was that you wanted. I appreciate it, man. Dr. Bob's Nightmare 2521. Is the Batman sprite a real thing, or is it someone pulling my leg? Maybe the watch ball knows. Is there a Batman sprite? Yes. Didn't you know that? No, it's a GMT Master 2, black and blue bezel with a Jubilee bracelet. Yeah, but wouldn't that be the Batgirl? Yes. A Batman sprite. No such thing. Anyway, you guys, I always appreciate everything. I'm looking forward to tomorrow's video, and everyone who likes, subscribes, and comments, just keep doing that. It helps me out. It helps me stay motivated to do this for you guys and for myself. So I appreciate it, and you all have a good weekend. All right, thanks.